friends. So tonight I am coming to you from inside my closet. Let's see. My phone is propped up against my shoes. Ooh, my new shoes, they're so pretty. And my hamper. Like, I have been trying really hard to find a good time to do another vlog, like a really deeply personal vlog, and there hasn't been one. Like, from November to February, our life is mayhem. We have like a billion different birthdays, plus, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas and holidays and anniversaries, and it's just like absolute chaos. So after Valentine's Day, I'm just like, oh, I can finally breathe, and it's so nice. So I've been trying to like breathe since Valentine's Day, and then it's always so difficult. Like, if I'm struggling with depression, I'm like, who am I? Who am I to even talk about depression while I'm going through it and say, you can do it, you can do it, you know? Maybe that makes me uniquely qualified to say, keep on going, but to me, it feels like, you're such a failure at this. Why would you even talk about it? I don't know. Maybe that's more reason to talk about it, so that not only I don't feel like a failure loser when I'm depressed, and so other people don't feel that way, because it's not true. It's just another lie that we tell ourselves. So, yeah, so there hasn't been a great time to do this. So, it's like 20 minutes to bedtime. My husband's downstairs doing the dishes because I cooked like a lot of different food today, food that he really wanted, and so that was the deal, was that he would clean up the whole kitchen. So he's doing that. The kids are going nuts like they do before bedtime, and I'm like, oh, it's a perfect time to do a vlog because I'm a crazy person. So, today I want to kind of talk about, real quick, about secondary infertility. A lot of people, it's not one of those terms that's tossed around a lot. It's not, it's different than infertility. So I just wanted to kind of like define it so that if you've never heard of it, this is what it is. And I did a lot of research. I made a lot of notes because there's like, you know, definitions and medical terms in here and stuff that my tiny brain can't handle. So I wrote it all down. Okay, so the actual definition of secondary infertility, and I read like lots of articles, different blogs, medical pages, like so many things. I did a lot of research because when something's happening to you like this, what do? You read. Well, I read because that's who I am. So the definition of secondary infertility is the inability to become pregnant or carry a pregnancy to term following the birth of one or more biological children with no previous assisted reproductive technologies or fertility medications with the previous successful birth or births. So that is what it means. If you're under 35, they will not put you into that classification unless you have been actively trying to get pregnant. They define trying to get pregnant as not using birth control for a period of 1 year if you are under 35. If you're over 35, it is 6 months. And then they say, you know, come in, let's get you tested, because, I don't know, they think everybody will be pregnant by then. Let's see, what else? Causes of infertility. Both men and women. For men, it's impaired sperm production, which can be caused from a lot of different things. Diet, weight, through like previous lots of research, there was deficiencies in vitamins and minerals, taking really hot showers, things that naturally decrease sperm production. For women, fallopian tube damage, ovulation disorders like PCOS, PMDD, endometriosis, and any kind of other uterine conditions. complications from previous pregnancy or surgery. And then there's always age. Age is a huge factor in infertility and secondary infertility. You know, they talk about your biological clock. It's a real thing. Weight is a huge factor in secondary infertility, because a lot of people, myself included, will have a baby and then either fail to lose all the baby weight before they get pregnant again, or lose all the baby weight but then gain other weight in between pregnancies. To me, it's all weight. It's whatever. Like, I ended up losing all of my baby weight, but then I gained it back depression eating before I got pregnant again. You know, it's all weight to me. And then there's always, like, I think the most painful undiagnosis is unexplainable. That happens to a lot of people, you know, unexplained infertility or secondary infertility. And as far as the weight, that's kind of what me and Luke are concentrating on. We think that my ovulation is off because of my weight, because of my diet, and that his sperm production isn't great because of his weight and his diet. So while we're not doing medical intervention right now, we're trying to kind of fix ourselves before we go down that route to say, hey, medication fix me. You know, that's just our decision. That's just what we felt like was the right thing to do for us. So they say that even losing 5 to 10% of your body weight can totally change your ovulation cycle, and for men, their sperm production, it actually turns over like every 3 months. So you would have to lose the 5 to 10% and then wait the 3 months for the sperm production to turn over, I guess is the term. And I've already been able to tell a difference just through exercise and eating well in January. My cycles were like 43 to 47 days apart, which is, you know, it's not great. I'm one of those women that anytime my period's not on time, I worry. I'm not like, sweet, I can avoid it this month. I know that something's wrong inside of me. So, yeah, 43 to 47 days, not great. But in January, it ended up being cut down to 32, which is right around regular for me when things are normal in my body. So after just 1 month of doing stuff, that's so great. Sorry, my foot's like totally falling asleep. Okay, what else? Oh, lots of people, lots of different articles said that secondary infertility may be just as common as regular or primary infertility. Like, what? I don't know. There's probably so many reasons for that. I'm not going to delve into it. Let's see. Another statistic, more than I think it said 1.5 million. I think that's what it said. I forgot to write that down. So we're going to say 1.5 million, but don't quote me on that. 1.5 million married women, 44 years and younger in the U.S. are infertile. I don't even understand why some people feel like it's taboo to talk about anymore if there are that many women suffering with it. Totally blows my mind. It should be something that is common to talk about. As common as having a baby, or I don't feel like, oh, and this is another thing. And there aren't very many blogs out there or women that talk about secondary infertility. And here's the reason why. I read all the ones I could find, and these were the words that were used over and over and over. Unjustified, ashamed, guilty, greedy, undeserving of sympathy, because they already have a child. And so they feel like all those things. They feel guilty for wanting another baby when some women can't even have one. And the most interesting thing I read was that it doesn't matter whether you have one baby, no babies, 5 babies. If you are unable to get pregnant, no matter how many kids you do or don't have, that pain is just as real as if you were unable to have no children. To you, that pain is that real. And it is devastating and heartbreaking. I'm coming up on my next cycle, and like in a day or two, and I haven't even allowed myself to wonder if I'm pregnant. I don't even go there anymore, even though I want it so intensely. I can't go to that place anymore. I can't, wonder if my period symptoms are possibly pregnancy symptoms, because they're so similar, and it's too painful for me. So I just, I probably won't, when I get pregnant, I probably won't find out for months, because it's really difficult. Which is why I am doing this, to say, if you're struggling with this, you are not alone. If it's making you depressed, if it's making you anxious, if you're feeling isolated because you want another baby and you're unable to have one, or even if you are struggling with primary infertility and you feel like all you ever see is pregnant women and all you get is baby shower invites, and it's so hard. It's so hard. I want you to know that I know exactly what that feels like. I have felt that pain, and it is not fun. And I pray for women struggling with this every single night, because I know how hard it is. Oh my goodness. So yeah, let's work on, I don't know, trying to have compassion and empathy for other people in general. You never know what someone is struggling with. You just never know. So for me, I'm going to touch really, okay, this video is like 12 and a half minutes already. I'm going to touch really, really quickly on weight loss and where I'm at. In January, I lost 13 pounds, and it was like incredibly hard to do. I felt like the world was ending. I had a baby with like a really unexplained, weird, viral, what is it? It's like a viral something. And she had like a really high fever, and that was it. And then she had a rash, and this like went on for a week. And even though I was like up with her at night, I put her to bed early in the morning so she could sleep comfortably, and I went and got on the treadmill. Like, I'm making these incredible changes, things that I would never do before. During my period, I exercised. I worked out through all that cramping and all that pain because I knew it was important. It was important to me. My husband and I were having some really intense marriage problems, and that made it really hard for me. Like, I am a stress eater, and it made me want to eat everything in my house and everything in the grocery store, because I was just filled with anxiety over our problems. And it was hard. It was really, really, really hard month. But I did it. I worked through it, and I lost 13 pounds. I think Luke lost like 9 pounds. But then in February, I was like, well, sweet, I did that. I'm doing really good. February hasn't been great because January was so hard. I kind of like came into February being like, oh, I can breathe. And I let myself relax a little bit. And I still exercised, but my diet hasn't been where it needed to be. I've been eating sugar. I got sucked into the Valentine's Day cliche, and I had chocolate and whatever. The candy is gone from my house now, and we are starting fresh tomorrow. But I got sucked into it. I let myself whatever. It was really good too. So I'm back on the wagon. So I haven't gained any. I've maintained that 13-pound weight loss, which is great. But I wanted to lose another 10 pounds in February. I don't know if that'll happen. There's like a week and a half left. Probably not. But we'll see. We'll see. I can only do what I can do, and I am not in this, I'm not in this to lose 20 pounds a month. I am making lifestyle changes, and those take a while. This is how I'm going to live for the rest of my life. I'm going to eat salads and smoothies, and, I'm also going to have chips and cheesecake once in a while. Hopefully small once in a while, balance in all things. So that is where I'm at weight loss wise and health wise. And that's kind of our plan for our postpartum. God, I'm so tired, guys. For our secondary infertility. I will try and do another blog. I think my next one's going to be about depression. All the different kinds of depression that I have suffered with, because there are many. And I'll try and do that later on in this week. So, I love you guys. If you have watched these, I seriously love you. And I hope that I can help you, that you can feel like you're not alone and you are supported. And there is a child scratching at my door. So I gotta go. I love you guys. Have a good night.